Whatever. So yeah, I after that last video where I was kind of sad and I was kind of a downer after I watched it. I'm like, wow, dude, you look like you're about to cry. So anyhow, I went from a sad whatever, and now I'm happy. So I wanted to do this video about my Ground Zero Ampworks Marshall. It's to refresh everyone's memory, all my 1,000 subscribers. It's a 1981 Marshall JMP 2203 that I sent to, his name is Jeremy. He has a company called Ground Zero Ampworks out in California. I actually sent him 2 heads. This was the first one I had him do. And then I loved it so much I sent him another one, a 78 that I had him do. The one with the 78 one, I forgot either it was the output transformer or the power transformer. One of those two were shot, so he had to replace it. So I was running those 2 heads stereo for a while, and then I just decided, you know what, I'm getting older. It's hard to lug all this gear around. I'm gonna go back to like a mono rig when I'm not using my FM9. So I sold the 78 because I wanted to keep the 81 because it still had the original transformers. So the last time I used this amp, it just seemed very high-endy, fizzly. It's hard to explain. I'm not real good with all them technical terms and all that jargon. So, anywho, I decided, you know what? This amp, I know, just screams the way I want it to scream. I'm not looking for like a metal sound. I like the Van Halen-y hard rock type sound. So what I did is for the last 2 days, I just started moving knobs because that's how you dial in a sound, man. You just start moving knobs and see what sounds good to your ears. So what I think the issue was, I'm going to put a picture up right now. All right. That is the back of the amplifier. And those 2 knobs, FB, I want to say stands for feedback. I could be wrong. FB. And depth. And that's where I have them set right now. But before, they were way high. I think that depth knob was at like 3 o'clock. And I think that FB knob was maybe at like 1 or 2 o'clock. And it was really the FB knob that was giving it that high end. There's so many different knobs on this amplifier that you can dial in so many different sounds. But for what I was looking for, once I started moving those knobs around, I realized that the FB knob and the depth knob were just set way too high. So I went to that old saying, less is more. I'm sorry, Yngwie, I know you say more is more, but in this case, less was more. So here's another picture of the cabinet, my orange cabinet that's loaded with black framed vintage 30s. So what you're hearing is an Audix i5 mic'd right up on that cabinet. I'm going into one of my mic pre's and I have no EQing or compression, anything on my virtual mixer thingy. It's straight in. So this sound right here that I first started the video out with is the guitar straight into the amplifier. No boost pedals, no nothing. And I'm really kind of digging it. So I can clean up, you know, pretty good. So if I'm, you know, doing the hot for teacher thing. So you get it. And I don't have my headphones on. I'm trying to see if how this video turns out. I can hear my cabinet in the other room. I mean, I can't hear it really good, but I can hear it. And I wanted to see if I could do this video without wearing those goofy headphones. So I really don't know exactly how it's coming across in the video. I guess I'll find out when I edit the video. But so this is just straight in to the Ground Zero Marshall that I have. So the way I got my rig set up is I got 5 pedals in my rack that are before the amplifier. I have the very first pedal. I'm using a RJM RG16 looper. I know I'm getting all gear talk. I'm a gear nut, man. I've always been a gear nut. So the first pedal in the loop is an old 70s original Phase 90. Then I have an old vintage late 70s, early 80s DOD 440 envelope filter. Then I have 2 Keeley White Sands boost overdrive pedals. I'm doing the old where the drive is set to 0, the level is cranked all the way up, and the tone is right up the middle. And there's a switch on that goes from boost to light overdrive. I have one set on the boost switch, and then I have the other one set on the overdrive switch. The boost switch, I'm going to use that pedal. So I'm straight into the amp right now. So if I'm going to hit that boost pedal, I mean, you can barely notice that little extra oomph, but it's there. Now I'll hit it. And that's for, you know, it makes it a little bit easier to, you know, to hit some of those squeals, though. That kind of a thing. And the other Keeley that's on the overdrive side, I use for my solos. So when I kick in a solo, I use that pedal. So that's those pedals. And the fifth pedal I have is a reissue, or the MXR, the Eddie Van Halen model MXR. I used to have, I can't even tell you how many of those vintage ones I've had. I'd have it, I don't know, I would be like, I don't like it, get rid of it, try something different. I'm on the, it's been with me for a while now. I use it for the band I play in, Driving Miss Crazy. If you're in Milwaukee, check out Driving Miss Crazy. We'll be playing all summer long. I use it, we play Barracuda by heart. So that's that. Here's my DOD 440 envelope filter. I'm using it for just most of these pedals I just use for like little parts. I mean, they're barely being used, but I like to have those little things going for the little parts that I need them. So we started playing that No Doubt song. So it's like a keyboard solo or something going on in there. So I use that pedal, and it kind of gives me that sound that's on that record. So there's that. And then I also use it for, we play Man in a Box. So I don't have a talk box, because Jerry Cantrell uses a talk box. So I use the DoD 440 for that. So that's what I use that for. And then, you know, we gotta bring in the Phase 90. I do my version. I mean, I don't play it note for note, but I do my version, and I also add a little bit of my own stuff. We do Eruption in the You Really Got Me. So we do that, and I use my Phase 90 for that, and I also use it for in the early on in the set we do Panama, and I'm set on that straight into the amplifier tone right now, and I'm gonna really I don't think I've ever tried this where I'm just straight into the amp with no kinds of boost pedals. But I'm gonna give at our next show. I'm gonna give it a whirl. So we do Panama, and when it kicks into the solo, I figured, you know what? I'll try and give it that kooky Phase 90. I mean, that was Eddie's sound, that Phase 90. So yeah, that's that. I wanted to make this video. I mean, I'm like super happy with the way I dialed this amplifier in. I'll take a picture and post a picture up of the front of the amp where I have all the settings. If you want to know the modification that he does, it's called the Moab Plus, Mother of All Bombs Plus. Jeremy's got a YouTube channel, Ground Zero Ampworks, and I'm pretty sure he did a video on this one. It's a 1981 2203. So if you want to know what all the stuff that is on the amplifier, the switches, the extra knobs, all that, I would say check out his YouTube channel. He explains things very well, and he's a super dude, man. I was on the phone with him a bunch of times just talking about stuff as he was doing my amps. He was explaining things to me. Great guy. Jeremy, you're a great guy. So I'm doing this kooky gig where I have to play SATO by Ozzy, and so I have a Rhodes patch set up where it's like kind of a heavy chorus. So you get the idea. Yeah, I screwed it up. I just learned it. So, I'm not opposed to telling people when I screw up. I screwed up. So what? I got to practice it more. I'll have it down by the time we do the gig. So, yeah. So this is my Marshall all dialed in. I'm loving it. I know. I told the band that I was just going to stick with using the FM9 because it's so easy. Plop it on the floor. I have two 8-inch head rust speakers that I use for some stage volume, but I don't know, man. I'm not happy with any of the amp sounds that I've dialed in on that FM9. I'm just not. It's so tweakable. And I'm just not happy with it. So, I'm using my Marshall straight, and I mean, I still use the Fractal, the FM9, for my clean sounds and for some kooky sound effects. Let's see if I got this set up where you guys can hear it. So this would be we do Zombie by the Cranberries. Let's see, is it working? I can hear it, so I think you can hear it. Then we go into that, and then so I use it for that. I use it for this kooky, I call it my spooky sound before we do White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane. And then I know you guys probably, I think you've heard this one before. Before Crazy Train, I used the strings, the Electro Harmonics S9 pedal. So there it is. I wanted to make this video. I'm really happy about how I dialed in this amp. You guys tell me, what do you think of this sound? I mean, I think I've made a couple of videos on this amp before, and I think I finally got it dialed in. I mean, I'm really, really happy with it. So. So there you go. Happier, not like the sad video. I don't know how happy I'm able to get, but I'm happy today. Lates.